All right, I want to update you on the herb planter, show you all the things I just harvested, and I'm going to teach you how to use grocery store basil and put it into the herb planter. So if you missed the video on creating this herb planter, it is on our YouTube channel, and it's just made with one steel planter. We added drainage holes, our soil blend, and then lots of herbs all together. Couple people didn't like me putting mint in here, but so far I've been able to keep it tame. So let me show you the harvest we just took from the planter. So we got a little bit of sage. You can see it's already starting to wilt. I took sage from this plant right here, and we got a little extra here. Then we took some mint from this plant. Then we took some oregano from, where is it? This plant. Then we took some rosemary from this plant. Then we took some more mint from this plant and some more mint from this plant. So here is the perennial harvest. I didn't harvest any time as it's just kind of taking its time to take off. So I just tried to make more space for it to get a little bit more room. I may add one more thyme plant so I can get more harvest here. I also didn't harvest from the chives, but I totally could have. And then I harvested from the annual herbs. So we have some dill, some cilantro, and some curly parsley all in here. You want to put these into some water as soon as you harvest because they will wilt really quickly. So what I've done now is just made some empty space. You can see I've got room all in this middle section, and those are great spots for annual herbs. I'm going to cut this dill because it's looking a little sad. So I'll cut this back like this, put this in the cup, and now we're ready to add our basil. So there's a couple steps, and you can apply this even if you don't want to use the herb planter, right? So I got this from the grocery. It was just, I don't know, it was 2 for $9. That's it, $4.50 to buy this, and you can see all these starts. What they do with these grocery store plants is they just throw a ton of seeds in here. So there's probably 15, 20 seeds. So what I'm going to do is take this out of here and divide it and then replant it. But first what I'm going to do is go ahead and trim from this plant. So I'm going to take some scissors. I have a little glass of water here, and I'm going to cut this so that it first of all, it's easier to transplant, and also so that I can get new roots from these and new plants. So if you do it right, you can actually get new plants from these cuttings as well as the ones you're about to plant. So I'm going to look, and basically you want to cut right above the leaf node here. So I like to do the lowest leaf node. You can see these leaves, I don't know if you can tell, but these are really, they have very few leaves down here on the bottom. That's because these plants are really trying to get to the light. They're all kind of fighting for their space right now. So generally you'd want to have leaves a lot lower on the stems, and the reason they don't have that is they're just way too tight to each other. So I'm just pinching back. You can use your finger even, that's what I'm doing now. And I'm sticking all these into water. And this is a great thing to do before you plant. That way, there's not as much stress on the plant when you replant it. So some of these aren't going to make it. This one's too small. So just eat that one, okay? All right, so that's about all of them. So I've got them all in water now, just like this. These are going to regrow roots. And now I'm ready to plant these. So I'm going to take this apart, take it out of the container. See how already it looks a little bit healthier? It's not nearly as, maybe it doesn't look healthier to you because you can't see the leaves, but it's not nearly as stressed. So I'm going to first just break this right down the center, just like that. And then I'm going to break it into at least 2 more sections, just like that. This one can go into 2 more sections as well. Now at this point, I'm probably not going to try to separate them too much more. I could, but I'm just going to prick off the smallest ones as they're probably not going to make it anyway. And then I'm going to make myself a nice hole right here in the bed. And I'm going to bury it a little bit further down, give it some support, and see if we can get leaves lower on the plant. So same with this one, I'm going to take off these lower leaves, the smaller ones. 3 is still a little much to plant all in one place, but we can sacrifice whichever one seems to not be making it later on. So I'm just going to make myself a little hole. And a lot of people have wondered, that these plants have different watering needs, but that's why I plant the annual herbs in the center of the box, and I plant the perennial herbs along the edge because those need less water. Basil needs more water. So when you put it toward the center, you're going to have more success with each plant getting the water it needs. So I am going to attempt to keep these 3 together. I'm going to put a hole right here in the center in between this dill, parsley, and cilantro, just like that. Now I'm going to put this one over here. Again, I'm trying to get it a little bit lower so that we get some bushier plants. Got room for 2 more. Slide that in just like that. This one's not going to make it. You can tell it doesn't have enough leaves. And then one last one over here. And I can tell you, not all these basil are going to make it, but some of them will. Enough of them will for you to get great basil all season long, and a lot higher survival rate than if you just planted them just the way they were, or if you kept them inside. So putting them separated out like this, you're going to have so much higher of a success rate. So I will keep you posted on how these do. I'm going to water these in really well. You would definitely want to watch their watering over the first week or so, especially if you're in a full sun situation. And then you can kind of pull off the water as they really get established. With these over here that we're rooting, you're going to watch these, and within probably about 2 weeks, you should have a lot of new roots down on the bottom here, and then these can be replanted out in the garden anywhere you want to. So literally probably a lifetime supply of basil right here between the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants we put in here, and then about 6 new starts here that will root and make new plants too. So that's your update on the herb garden. The key to success with this is harvest, harvest, harvest. You need to harvest from this at least weekly for all the plants to have enough space and for you to get all the herbs you want from your herb container.